stuff. So we just got done talking about video games, and there's a fast food restaurant out there playing a dangerous game. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but Subway is offering free subs for a lifetime. If you rename yourself Subway legally, you got to change your name to Subway.
Jared, what did I say? What did I say?
What did you say?
I'm sorry, not Jared. Michael, what did I say about this?
I don't remember.
Community. This is a joke from Community.
Yeah.
This is an actual joke from Community. Like in Communities, that the series, you know, that they get the college gets corporate sponsorship from Subway, and they have the only way that they're able to do it is to have a representative of Subway attend college. Well, they can't like do that. And so they're like, well, we'll do this. We will name a person Subway, and it will be the corporate entity for us on campus. And so there's a character named Subway in Community.
That show is so ridiculous.
It's happened. It predicted the future. Like, literally.
It's turning into The Simpsons.
So Subway is the sandwich shop you go to when none of the other sandwich shops are closed. Because
I mean, I go to it above Jersey Mike's because that's
crazy. That's crazy talk.
That is crazy talk.
No.
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's one of the best. Potbelly's one of the best.
Potbelly's is the best.
I've never been to a Potbelly's.
It's delicious.
Actually, no, that's not true. I have been. It was in a mall, and it wasn't good. But I think that's because it was in the mall. So,
yeah.
Just tainted by all that mall junk.
Wasn't impressed with Jimmy John's. That was way overpriced.
Old Jimmy John's used to be good. Like before they were expensive.
Yeah, well, it's expensive for like this much of a sandwich. Like,
yeah.
Nothing. Like I'm paying Jersey Mike prices for like this much of a sandwich. So it's not worth it.
Subway used to be really good. I used to go there like when I was in college, like every weekend I'd go get a sub.
We used to go a lot when we lived together. Like, do you remember that Subway down the street from our apartment?
I used to go a lot when I lived in Kansas. Like I'd go after work, and
I think the last time I went to Subway was with Jared and Alex during a lunch break when we all worked together. That's the last time I went to Subway.
We always went to sandwiches places.
Yeah, we
like
did.
Firehouse.
We went to Potbelly's.
Potbelly's. Yeah. Potbelly's, man. Those spicy peppers they put in there.
Yeah, those are really good.
I was not impressed with Firehouse. Not a lot of hope.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Firehouse.
That got talked up to me quite
Firehouse.
a bit. But
here's my thing with Jersey Mike's. It's bland and it's cold. I don't like cold sandwiches. I
didn't get a hot sandwich. They have the hot menu.
And even the hot menu sucks.
Why? You're just wrong.
I don't know. Ask Jersey Mike's, Thomas.
Is that the place? Is that the place that puts way too much meat? Like it's like
there is no such thing.
This much meat.
I know that's not.
That is not a complaint, Michael.
It is because there's nothing else in. I think that's the place I went to.
My complaint is there's too much bread. Their bread is like that.
Maybe that's not my place. There's a place we went with Ari.
Make up your minds, both of you.
Too much
bread.
My mind is made up, and it's terrible.
I didn't mind Schlotchkis, but
it's okay. It's overpriced.
It's way too expensive. So, what is anyone gonna name rename themselves Subway? Anyone? Any takers?
My name's already tied to Subways.
I know, Jared. You can't do it. I don't think they'd like. How about if there was any fast food restaurant you would change your name for
free food for life?
Yeah, for free
interesting.
Probably a pizza place because pizza's getting expensive, and I love pizza.
I would do
Dion's, man.
I'd be called Dion.
Yeah, it's a great name. You get salads, sandwiches, and pizza. I mean,
I would do Chick-fil-A.
This is now the Dion podcast. We're all Dion. Hello.
Yay.
And no one knows who that is because they probably don't live in Texas where they have Dion's. So Thomas would be Thomas Chick-fil-A. That kind of suits you.
But you can still retain the Thomas part and like Thomas Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
What if it's just the middle name?
Thomas C.
Or is it?
Well, say that would just add. That would just add to my. That would just add to my.
Add to all your names.
Yeah, I've got a billion anyway.
That would be even worse for me. Subway Jared?
Oh my.
Oh, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they take you at all.
They would not let you do it.
They're
They
like,
would totally not let you
no.
do it. No,
Not allowed,
we're
Jared.
sorry. Go to me.
What if you
How
can?
about like
Is there a limitation
Go
on
ahead.
how long you can change your name? So, like, if you just wanted to save money for a year and you just change your name to Subway for a year, then change it back?
and then change it back?
Yeah,
That probably. I bet they have a big old contract you have to
yeah, it's
sign
like you have
that
to keep it
says
for
Yeah.
35 years.
as long as your name stays, that will give you sandwiches.
Also, how do you get in contact with that? Like how do you apply for that position? Like, you can't just walk into a Subway like, hey, I want to change my name to Subway. Give me my sandwich.
Do you think there's gonna be a rise in babies named Subway this year?
I bet they gave you a card. Do you think a lot of people are gonna do this?
I don't know.
They named their
They're-
kid Khaleesi after a mass murdering fictional character.
True.
I bet they give you just like a card that they refill every month or something, or every day. I don't know how many days you get it, but what would be the worst name? Like Jack in the Box? Hey, I'm Jack in the Box.
Oh, God.
I'm Wendy's. Who's Wendy? No, I'm Wendy's. No, who's Wendy? Which Wendy are you? Are you?
Which one?
That gets confusing.
What
Yeah.
would be the worst?
Yeah,
I feel like there's an obvious one we're not thinking of.
probably.
Papa John's.
Oh, Potbellies wouldn't be great.
Ham pot bellies. Like, yeah, we know.
Okay, thanks for announcing it.
Oh.
What else we got? Wiener Schnitzel?
No, I'd go around with that. I would do that. Free
Long
Long
Wiener
John
Schnitzel.
Silver. Yeah, Long John Silver. You're a pirate.
That'd be awesome.
They call me Long John.
Oh my.
KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's kind of weird.
That would be
I think
weird.
that's just somebody's initials
Yeah.
True.
somewhere.
Oh man. I mean, I know what sporting goods store I wouldn't be named after, but
It's just Richard. That's all it is.
all right. Let's head on. Where was I?
I don't know. Where were you?
This isn't for
Ready to go?
this. I gotta close this.
Ah, but I wanted that.
Oh no.
And we gotta close this because we already talked about those. So go watch our other video about gaming stuff. Okay. Oh no, this is the wrong one. I had the right one.
Which one was it, Joseph?
It was this one. Here we go. Box office for this week. Barbie staying strong. Look at that, $29 million. Oppenheimer staying strong, 14. That's pretty good. And then the newcomer is Haunted Mansion, which was 6. Not a
I
lot.
didn't
but
even know that was out.
I hear it's very meh. It's like
No.
it's not
I would
good or
assume
bad.
that.
I
Yeah,
may
so
or may
would I.
not have seen it. We'll find out in a minute.
Oh, really? Okay. Sound of Freedom staying strong with 4. And then poor old Mission Impossible just did not release at a good time, I guess.
On the struggle bus.
Poor Mission Impossible. Okay, so well, you kind of teased it, Michael. You're teasing us, so why don't you fulfill your tease and tell us what you watched this week?
Oh goodness. Well, since I've been so bad, because every time we ended, and I don't know what the heck I watched, I made a list of what I watched this time so I can talk about it all.
Nice.
So catching up from last time that I messed out on, I did end up going and finishing Silo on Apple TV Plus. And that show
Nice.
just gets better as it goes. Like at first I was like, oh, this is really good. And then as I was at work doing a bunch of parts that I couldn't be on my iPad or do anything else. So I was like, I just had shows in the background. So I have quite a few shows I finished.
And then production stopped because Michael got too invested.
Just grinding something together. No, but so yeah, the show just gets it leaves you it does a thing to where it answers a ton of questions in the last episode and then leaves so many more that you are like, oh come on, I don't wait for the next season. So I literally went on YouTube and watched like theory videos, which I never do. But I was like, I want to know what people think because I guess it's a book series, so I didn't look any spoilers up. But anyway.
Oh, really? No, that.
Huh?
I didn't know it was a book series.
Yeah, apparently it is. Apparently.
Same name or is
So,
it different?
I think it was the same name. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Then I finally went back and finished Severance. I'm doing all the shows that Alex and I bailed on because whenever he stopped watching stuff. End of Severance. What the flipping heck, man? They just leave you hanging right there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was in pain. It was so good. That's such a good show, man. I'm so
It's good.
very excited for the next season. But did that escape the writer's strike? Will we get that season beforehand or not? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I know there were a couple that made it. One that didn't was literally a weeks away. Was Andor season 2 was weeks away from being done, and they had to.
Oh no!
pause.
What a
I was like,
shame.
I know, Jared, our favorite Star Wars show ever. Ugh. And then
Darn.
so this is a weird one. What?
The Idol with the Weeknd.
I know British stuff escapes the writer's strike, so any British shows out there
okay.
we can still watch.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
said, did you watch The Idol?
What
with
is
the
that?
Weeknd? It's a show with the Weeknd in it.
Oh.
And everyone's like, man, that guy cannot act. Just stick to music.
I did not watch The Idol. Did not. I did watch The Foundation because season 2 kept getting a bunch of hype for it. And I was like, okay, sure, we'll watch Foundation. That show is very akin to Final Fantasy 16 for me. If we're talking about Empire or we're talking about Jared Harris's character and the main chick, I forget their names. I'm in. We go to the actual Foundation people, and I'm like, I don't care about literally any of you. You can all die. You're so boring. You're so boring.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the Empire. I'm like, you're so interesting. This is such a cool dynamic of what you do.
I just picture Michael in front of people. You're so boring. He goes to the next people. You're so cool.
Dude, he has the worst protagonist I've ever
the
seen.
chick
She
with like
is just dull.
weird eraser head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
She is
It's
so
like-
dull and unlikable. It's just like, why?
I don't know, man.
Well, like
I don't know.
the best parts of the book are like the Emperor's plan, like the whole
He's
like
definitely the coolest part of the whole show.
it's what's the best part of the book is like based around all of that. Like the entire series is like an event of consequences from the Emperor's plan. That's the point of like the books. And like the show's like, no, we're just gonna like have that in the background.
Yeah, I don't know. You do get a whole fight scene where Lee Pace is butt naked fighting people in season 2, so that was kind of
nice.
cool. But yeah, very very strange show. I didn't put that as a movie on here. Hold on, let me add this real fast. Boop, there we go. So now those are the shows that I watched. Now we're getting into the movies that I watched. I watched Haunted Mansion, which you mentioned. Went with Johnny yesterday. I have a soft spot. I actually really like the other one with Eddie Murphy, which literally no one else on planet Earth likes. But I actually like it. I really enjoy it. And I thought this one was really good. It was very different story-wise, which I didn't expect. It kind of drags a little bit when you get to like 3/4 in. I'm like, okay, we need to like have a little more interesting like mysteries in here. Instead, we're just kind of like, oh, we know what we're doing. We're just gonna drag our feet. I'm like, all right, come on, get going. But still fun. Owen Wilson, man, he's just an absolute delight. And in this, he's an absolute delight.
I didn't even know he was in there.
He is. He plays a priest. And then you get freaking Danny DeVito, which you get Danny DeVito on screen and Johnny in the theater. And Johnny, of course, can be laughing his butt off at everything Danny DeVito did, which is earned because it's hilarious.
If
Johnny
he just
laughs even
sees
more.
Danny DeVito, he laughs.
True. But he is actually really funny in this movie. But
do you have a go ahead, finish your
go ahead.
Okay, do you have a favorite Disneyland ride or Disney World?
Disneyland ride.
Because a lot of people say Haunted Mansion is their favorite ride.
It honestly
I'm more
is.
of a Pirates.
I love Pirate. It's very different because I feel like Pirates is more of a ride because you have the drop and everything, and then you kind of see all the scenery. Haunted Mansion is more of just like the experience and the enjoyment of seeing all the characters and the creativeness and everything. You kind of have that weird elevator part, but Disney Channel ride. We always did have a soft spot for Peter Pan. Our whole family, we love going to Peter Pan to see the whole city below you. But yeah, I think it would be between.
You know what I
Pirates
really
and
like
Haunted.
was Thunder Mountain. Thunder Mountain's a fun ride.
Yeah, that's true. That's been a
I like-
long time since I've been there.
I like that one, and weirdly enough, I like A Small World After All. That was kind of cool.
I hate that
Oh no!
terrifying.
It was
man.
it was just cool to see. I liked it.
Wait, I went
Because-
there when we went. Oh, this is probably 10 years ago now. We went to Universal and then we hopped over to Disney for a day. And Small World's just terrifying. It is Alex and I went on it. We're like, we're bored. It's right here. Let's go. We sat down. We're like, oh my God, kids ride this thing and they don't come out screaming? What is going on? It is a horrifying ride.
I used to love space tours, but then me, Jared, and Jonah went a couple years ago, and we could not take space tours anymore. It made us sick.
Oh, I think
I was like,
Jared
we
ruined
were-
it or something.
I think we just
No.
ate, and I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And then I was like, "Oh, my stomach."
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
no.
we couldn't even stand when we got out of the ride. We were
no.
like sitting on the sidewalk. It's like, oh man.
Something about that 3D
I,
screen and then the movement of the chairs. I was like, "Oh God."
Goodness. Make sure you don't do the launch simulation ride then after you eat, because that one like it forces like the G on you of like that. My sister was
Oh
like
yeah.
almost dead afterwards. She was like, "Don't you ever take me on anything like that again." But yeah, so enjoyed Haunted Mansion. Not great, but I think really good. And then I watched the new I didn't realize it was even out. We watched the trailer for it a while back. The Jackie Chan John Cena movie Hidden Strike. Well, from the trailer, it looked like a buddy cop movie. It wasn't really a buddy cop movie. It wasn't a really good movie. It was pretty sad. Jackie Chan was like, he's like the sparks of like a little bit of humor and light that I saw, but the rest of it was just weirdly shot. It's like those weird like foreign movies that they look high budget but they look bad. You know, like all the CG's there and it's like looked interesting, but I'm like, I don't know if this is shot well or really really poorly. It's just very different. And so they have very very high levels of CG in it. Like there's the opening scene where they're in the desert, and the rest of the movie is shot in parts of the desert where it looks normal. But this scene, like you all look like you're on green screen, but it doesn't look. It looks like it's intentionally trying to be fake. I don't know. It's very very weird. And they're like have the fake lights on their head, and the fans sometimes blowing their hair, and the wind is sometimes not blowing their hair. Like very inconsistent. But anyway, weird movie, weird scene. And it was an interesting fight scene when they're because John Cena is a part of a village in the desert that he's trying to get money to get water for them, and then his brother's part of the gang, and he helps his brother do a gang heist against Jackie Chan's people to get the scientists to get oil. And so John Cena and Jackie Chan have their fight scene, and it was interesting seeing Jackie Chan try and fight the mountain that is John Cena, because like they play very much into where he'd like try and do something, he's like trying to throw, he's like ugh, ugh. But so that was pretty funny. They had some good fight scenes. Jackie Chan's always great. Dude hasn't aged a day. I don't understand it. Crazy. But then I watched last night. I watched 65, the Adam Driver
Did you see that?
space movie. I did watch it.
I saw it in theaters.
Really?
Yeah, with
Interesting.
my dad and Jonah.
Yeah, I saw Jonah rated it on Letterboxd. Not great, unfortunately, because it looks cool, but like the premise is really cool. Like I love the idea of it being, because like, do you guys care if I spoil it in the slightest?
Nope.
No. Okay, so it's like 65. It's like in the trailer, I thought he was like going to a different planet, and it was like, oh, this is the birth of that planet. They're still in dinosaur times. They're getting forward. No, this is like Earth. That humans come to Earth 65 million years ago. Like they make a touchdown there, and like that's when the dinosaurs were around ever, and they end up being at the time whenever the comet is coming to destroy all the dinosaurs, or whatever. So they're like, we got to get off this thing. Like him and this other girl, the little girl, the only two survivors. Like we got to get to the escape pod and get out of here before the meteor destroys Earth and sends it to the ice age. Super cool premise, very visually interesting, has the kind of fun tropes of Jurassic Park and everything, but it's just it's such a slog. They do the weird choice of making where they don't speak the same language, which I don't think served the movie in the slightest. Like they needed some sort of like bounce back and forth, like Ellie and Joel kind of funniness as they travel through, but instead it's just like, oh, you can't understand me, I can't understand you, we're kind of whistling. I don't know. I love Adam Driver though, but not a great movie.
Did you like that creepy cave dinosaur? It's like it was all pale and it was
Oh,
like in the cave,
yeah, that was
stalking them.
that was interesting. I liked the kind of play with the like sensor, and it kind of showed the 3D space of like where it was around him. I did
Yeah.
like the last one, so he like kills 2 T-Rexes at the end, just bad A wise, and then this
Spoilers.
and
I'm kidding.
I will come over there and beat you up. And then they have like, instead of like, the Jurassic Park mutinized kind of dinosaur, they just have like a T-Rex, but it has actual normal size arms, and it's on all fours, and it's freaking creepy, dude. It looked like those little ones that attack him in the beginning, like that kind of swarm that he was fighting off, but really,
Yeah.
really, really, really big. I like that thing. It was cool. I like dinosaurs. But yeah, that's all I watched. That's all that I've finished, because I have other things I'm watching, but I'll say that for when I finish it.
Joseph, did you want to talk about Secret Invasion or
Yeah.
the ending
Secret
of it?
Invasion was really boring, and I didn't.
I never watched any of it.
Nick Fury during the whole thing is just like, oh, I'm so old, I'm so bad at my job. and everyone's like, "Oh, Nick Fury, everything's your fault. The scrolls are your fault for some reason. It shouldn't really be your fault." And then at the end, there's a fight scene, and now someone's like super powerful that's not even in the comic books, and that really ticks me off because they made an original character super strong. He's now like the most powerful character in Marvel, so I didn't like that. What you
My
think,
question is that supposed to be all the storyline of Secret Invasion? Like, is there no?
Wow, that's kind of
That's
sad.
very disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you guys care if we spoil? Are you guys gonna watch it?
Probably
No.
not. Go ahead.
So Rhodey has been a scroll since like Civil War. So they
Okay.
replaced
Oh wait,
Rhodey with
Rhodey. What the heck?
Brody Rhodes.
Yeah, War Machine. Because when he comes out, he's like his legs don't work. So I don't know. It's a weird show. It just changes a lot of about the MCU that doesn't really need to be changed. In the comics, Secret Invasion is the Skrulls like take over. They take over superheroes and stuff like that. So there was like surprises, but basically it's just a bunch of superheroes fighting Skrulls. So this, they obviously couldn't do that because all they had was Nick Fury, and it just wasn't good. I didn't like it at all.
So besides
What'd you-
Brody being a scroll, who else was a scroll?
That's it.
That's it.
Rhodey, and then like a bunch of heads of state.
Yeah. They really abused. Just wanted to use the name and
Yeah,
cash
basically.
in.
It should have been called Nick Fury's retirement.
Yeah.
It sucks.
That doesn't give me a lot of hope for the future of like the Marvel stuff.
Oh.
Like,
No.
Not at all. There's been rumors of that they're going to reset because they know it's kind of just been
pittered out.
trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're. I wouldn't be surprised if they reboot.
Just like
that
comics.
reminds me. I forgot to talk about something. Writer's strike, and then actors are also on strike. So there are rumors of delays. And I think one of the saddest ones would be Dune 2 might get delayed till next year. Because they wouldn't be able to do any marketing with the like red carpets and stuff like that with the actors because they're on strike. So they're thinking maybe we delay it. Marvel's is pretty much delayed, I think. Rumor is that
You can delay that as long as you want. I don't mind.
Okay. Although
Why would
Spider-Verse has been indefinitely delayed, which is very sad.
Yeah, Spider-Verse
really?
definitely,
No new
because
date.
they haven't worked on that at all. So a
Wow.
bunch of Sony delayed like all their
Yeah,
stuff.
everything on
Jeez.
their list is poof.
So I wonder. Okay, so I heard a theory about this. Is that this might be actually good for Hollywood? Not in the way that you think, but getting rid of a lot of the chaff and crap that has been built up. So like back in the 70s, they had basically not the writer strike exactly, but they have like the over exuberance of like 1960s films. Like, I mean, one example I heard was like Cleopatra. Like that basically bankrupted. Was it MGM? Yeah, MGM. The thing is, a lot of the other studios were doing the same thing. They're putting millions and millions of dollars into high production movies that would never be able to return the amount of money that they invested, and that gave rise to basically Hollywood handing over the keys to indie filmmakers and student filmmakers like George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, Spielberg. I mean, those three guys specifically, Scorsese came out of the 70s too, who was like super underground, super independent. But since all these Hollywood movie makers basically ripped out all of the legacy filmmakers and put these indie guys up front, a massive wave of new cinema was able to be born. I mean, those four guys specifically have basically shaped like Hollywood for the last like 45 or not 45, 60 years. And so they're kind of hoping that this kind of does the same thing, is that they rip out all this crap. I mean, the Marvel movies especially are just like so overblown and so overproduced that they're just junk. And
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, I think that will happen because there's just no motivation for the studios to give in to this strike.
Nope.
Because they're already losing tons of money, so it doesn't really make sense to give these people more money when
more money to
they're
lose
not
money
making
again.
Yeah.
Right. And so
it's just gonna give rise to, like Thomas was saying, indie stuff is gonna be huge now.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad of that, honestly, because I mean, even the stuff that we were watching in House 6, like a lot of stuff we were just watching was a schlock. Like, good Lord. Every like 5 or 6 movies we'd watch, we'd get one movie where we're like, yes, this movie was great. Like, I love this one. And so I don't know. Like it's gonna be interesting. And like Joseph said, there's no motivation for the studios to give in because they're already losing millions of dollars. Like Peacock, I don't know if you heard about how much they lost last quarter.
65.
They lost
No,
lots.
$628 million. That is staggering.
Yeah,
And
Warner Brothers is deep in the hole. Disney's deep in the hole.
Yep.
The only streamer that makes money, who is it? Hulu does well.
they have a lot of
Um,
indie stuff on there.
Yep. So they also have a lot of good content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Max does okay.
I wish Prime
but
would
that's
take their stuff
basically their-
seriously, man.
Oh, I know. Oh, good Lord.
They have so much money they don't care.
I
They don't
know.
care.
And it's all like I was on there. I was looking for a movie to watch earlier, and I was on there like, oh my
Yeah, it's
gosh, there's so much
terrible.
just bloat and garbage. Not only
It's
that,
just
but their
junk.
app is also terrible.
It is
Yeah.
bad.
Their
It's
UI
just-
is so bad.
Yeah, it's just like there to get people to buy Prime.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You know what's sad? I used to like the HBO app, HBO Max app. I thought that
Mhm.
was like the best one. Like
That was a
the
good one.
easiest to find stuff. But ever since they changed the Max, it's terrible. It doesn't show you nothing
Yeah,
anymore.
it's weird.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like and I don't know how this is gonna go. Like I have no idea. Because like again, there's no reason why the studios are gonna give in. Because they're like, oh, we need more money. It's like don't have it.
Ironically, the streamers that do well are the ones that are free, like Pluto and
Mhm.
Freebie.
Freebie?
Those ones do really well.
They're
Yeah,
saying a lot of
in costumes.
saying there's going to be a YouTube rise of filmmaking.
What's like
Well,
with that?
like,
Skidamari
uh,
and Talk to Me.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Like those got huge. I mean, but again, that's to me, that's kind of encouraging because it's promoting artists that are actually wanting to actually do their craft, not just make a
Yeah.
product. So
Yeah, and it's like easier to do effects now. There's a bunch of like YouTube people that can do CG.
I mean,
Really, it's
Corridor Crew, like those guys, they basically say, "Hey, we can do this," and they do it. So
you can find writers. I mean, I'm sure there's writers out there that are really good. The real thing is the actors. Like the older actors we have are great, but they're all pretty much retiring. Anyway, I don't. So really, it's just getting new actors. Because I don't know. I don't know if they would strike as long as the writers, because the writers are the ones that have the big deal about they don't get money from streaming and they're worried about AI. So they're the ones that have, the actors were kind of like, we're just going to strike just to support the writers. But I don't know. The acting is the one area where I'm like, how do you replace them in like a new Hollywood?
Michael, let's go to Hollywood. Across that picket line. Let's do it.
There we go.
Well, the new Hollywood apparently is going to be in Vegas. Everyone's moving to Vegas. 'Cause Hollywood's kind of trashy now. So,
Yeah.
Plenty
No one
of
really
room
wants
out
to live
there.
there.
There's nothing there.
yeah, so everyone's thinking Vegas is going to be the new. Mark Wahlberg moved out there. Got a big old house, so everyone thinks they're going to follow him.
How expensive is Vegas compared to like California?
Way cheaper.
Is it?
Cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is cheaper.
Well,
but
anything besides California's not
yeah,
expensive.
anything is cheaper than them. But
Well, what's funny, they did a move to and a move from California comparison, and it's like 7 times more expensive to move from California than it is to move to California. Just
California's gonna be a wasteland, man. It's just all rich people and poor people, I guess.
pretty much. I mean, it's that way
crazy.
now.
And pretty much. But speaking of filmmaking, I watched The Fablemans, which is kind of Spielberg's autobiography type movie. I don't know if it's a movie that needed to be needed to be told. It was kind of weird. It's very personal. I'll say that. The topics he kind of tackles are very personal. One of them was about a family breaking up, and then the other one's just about being bullied at school. And it's kind of the movie's about the impact of film on lives and how it can show you like people's true selves. Because the two kind of family movies he makes brings out a lot of like internal issues to the forefront that probably wouldn't get talked about since people kind of hide that stuff away. It's a weird. It has a really weird ending. He meets John Ford, who was kind of the most famous director before Spielberg was around. And so John Ford, he meets him for like 5 minutes, and he gives him like advice how to shoot the horizon, and then he tells him to get the f out of his office, and that's how the movie ends.
That's the only scene I've seen from that, and the fact that it's played by David Lynch is just awesome.
So interesting movie. I can see why it didn't do well. I mean, I don't know how you would market this movie because it's not a fun movie to watch. It's a drama. It's just a real personal movie. And then the other movie I watched, I thought I had seen most of the Liam Neeson movies, but I was wrong because there was one called Run All Night, and I really liked this movie. It was pretty full of fun. It's Liam Neeson and that Kinnaman guy who plays Major Flag in the DC movies. So basically, he's a retired Irish mob hitman, and it's pretty much the plot to Road to Perdition. Is like his kid sees the mob boss's kid shoot someone, so now they got to go on the run. And then Liam Neeson trying to protect his son, even though his son kind of hates him because he was a terrible dad. So he's trying to get back, trying to do one last good thing. Lots of people in this movie. Freaking Nick Nolte shows up. So there was a Nick Nolte sighting. But I really liked it. It surprised me. I was like, oh, I've never even heard of this Liam Neeson movie, but it's one of the better ones. So. And then as far as TV, I'm trying to think. Oh, we already said Secret Invasion. Started the second part of Bleach today. So that long.
Some subtle changes happening already in these 3 episodes.
Yeah, I was surprised it got right to the action and right to the meat.
Yeah.
So that was fun. So I watched 3 episodes of that, and we'll talk about it later when we finish it, whenever that is. Jerry, you want to fit? Did you have other stuff to finish?
I've been watching Gundam.
Nice. Oh yeah, how's that going?
Wait, fine, but I don't want to put Michael through that. So,
any YouTube news for us?
Not really. Just the whole "Talk to Me" movie coming out and how that's a big deal for YouTubers, and how the transition from YouTube to Hollywood can be a good thing for like them, and then the Skidamari creator. So that's about it.
Cool, interesting. Thomas, what do you got for us?
So I forgot to mention last time because I didn't write anything down either, like Michael did. I watched Barry season 4, the final season. Have you seen it, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like the ending?
I think it did, yeah.
I did too.
It's very bizarre. It's very back.
It's very
It makes
weird.
a bunch of jumps.
It's the thing is like, well, that's weird, but then you look at the whole show like, well,
That makes sense.
that
way.
makes sense.
It fits the show.
I think Barry Bertman got the ending he deserved. That's what I'll say about it. I was
Such a good
impressed.
show.
I was impressed that Bill Hader wrote and directed every single episode of this movie or this series. I was like, that's a lot because he only did a few. But what's funny is that the few that he did are like some of my favorite episodes. But yeah, I was extremely impressed with this series as a whole. I think everybody should probably go check it out. It's not even very long. It's like 8 episodes per season. But it's really good. I was very impressed with the ending. And I watched a movie called Encounters at the End of the World by Werner Herzog. I watched it on a YMS list. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that one. So I checked it out and it's really cool. I'm always impressed with Herzog and how good of a filmmaker he is. Talking about like indie guy, he needs to be pushed to the forefront. Like the world's not ready for that. But yeah, very good movie. It's a documentary about the Antarctic and or not Antarctic. Yeah, the Antarctic, the South Pole, and just the people who decide to make a career there, doing all kinds of weird stuff. Like there's one that's like a journeyman plumber. There's a person who's a bus driver. There's like, I mean, you have like the biologists and stuff that are like the scientific people, but then a lot of them just work there. Like this one guy talks about how he's in the Peace Corps for like 12 years. And then he just kind of got like moved around. And it's like, oh, now I drive a bus in the Arctic. It's like, what?
Why?
Exactly. But you never know why. It's just, he's just that kind of
I
person.
could see myself doing that if I did. If it wasn't so cold.
I would do it because it is cold.
That's the thing is that I'm like, Jared should apply for some of these jobs. And I think he could probably get a job at the Antarctic as an IT person. I think you could do it.
Just be like, what's up, little penguin? Just slap his hand, go to work.
Oh my God. So they were doing like experiments on the seals and it's hilarious because the way that they experiment on the seals is like the seal is here and they put a plastic bag over their head to calm them down. But it's all like nonchalant. It's like this researcher like walking up like this, and then he puts the bag over his like back like this, and he goes like, "Kutush," and the seal goes, "Arr!" But then, that's the thing. It's like, is he all right? He's like, I don't know where he'll calm down in a second, and it's like, oh. And then they're fine with it. It's really funny. But yeah, it was a good movie. It's on YouTube for free because like the scientific I forgot who sponsored it, but he even talks about, he's like, I proposed a question. Why do ants use lice as slaves for sugar water? And why would a monkey who is a higher life form not ride a goat for battle purposes? It's like, with these questions in mind, I was given funding for my Arctic film. I'm like, okay then, cool. So, but yeah, it's a good movie. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. The other movie I watched was with Jared after we got some ramen. We watched the new Evil Dead, and not good. Not a good movie, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's really disappointing.
It was very disappointing. Like, I'm a big fan of those older movies. It had none of like the charm of any of the Evil Deads. Even the remake, which me and Jared really like, that was a great remake. This one tried way too hard. Go ahead, Jared.
Oh, I talked about it last time. Just disappointing.
Yeah. Like after like maybe 5 minutes in, like we were just making fun of it basically the whole thing. So it wasn't good. I hate to say it, and I know it's got like a lot of praise. I'm just like, why? This was not very good. So I don't know.
Yeah, you guys saw Barbarian, right?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's all right. I didn't know Justin Long was in it until he just like showed up. I was like, because he wasn't in any of the trailers. So
I like the fact that I think it's Zach from the Whitest Kids You Know wrote it, because
Really?
you know how they're focused on comedy, so this was his like venture
Horror?
into horror,
that's kind of
and
cool.
it's a weird mixture of horror and comedy. Like you don't know if you're to laugh or to be afraid, but there is some cool things in it. It's not like
Kind of
great.
gross.
Yeah, it's really gross. But it's not bad. It was a great first attempt.
Yeah.
You know what I attempted? I attempted to watch, because you guys talked about this on House 6. It's Such a Beautiful Day.
Oh, I love that.
I couldn't find it.
What?
Yeah,
I
hard to
saw
find.
I saw the first part, because I guess it's in 3 parts.
Yeah.
The original one. So I saw the first part, and I wanted to watch more of it, but I couldn't find it. I did watch the guy. His name is Don Hertzfeldt.
Oh, did
I
you watch
did
his
watch-
YouTube stuff?
Yeah, I watched his first.
My spoon is too big.
Yeah, I watched that stuff, and those were pretty good. So yeah, and then he's got more stuff. He's like,
That movie instantly went to like top like 20 movies for me. Like it's
Really?
crazy how good that movie is.
There's the Blu-ray.
Come back to Texas, Joseph, and we can
Is
watch it.
Literally the guy that does those "My Spoon Is Too Big" shorts.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's how he started.
that's him. Yeah,
Okay.
this movie's
Yeah, 'cause
fantastic.
I was reading something for other projects we might do in the future. So that guy's name came up, so I wanted to check it out. But unfortunately, I could only find the first part. But what I saw made me want to see more. So hopefully,
Well,
I can find the other
When you
parts.
come back to Texas for Christmas,
I don't know if that's like
it doesn't matter if
What?
it's a Christmas movie. It's a
no, I
good to
know,
see
but
it.
it kind of brings down the
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 tone.
mood.
No, that's okay for me.
It depends on your
Downer
interpretation of it, sir. Like I find it a
all
very
right,
hopeful
Thomas.
movie. But whatever. I have one more thing.
Yep. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Guess what I got in the mail today?
Carhartt.
A jacket
God
from.
dang
No, I lost it.
80
some
degrees
kind
in
of
his apartment,
jacket.
and he's putting on a jacket right now.
I have one more coming.
Maybe stop buying Carhartt jackets, Thomas, and spend the money to lower your air conditioning.
No, because buying these is a lot less cheaper than AC right now.
All right.
Oh,
Anyone want to add anything else to this episode?
Thoughts on the trailer for One Piece?
Mm,
It looks
CG
better than
like
the
the-
show.
I thought it looked pretty good.
CGI doesn't look great.
I like the
I
characters.
don't-
The characters seem fun. I was interested in it.
I don't
act-
care.
the actors seem to be very enthusiastic about it. Like they seem to be fans, but I don't know. It's a live action adaptation of a series that's still going on and is longer than the Bible. So I don't know what they're gonna do with
Do you
it.
think in like 5 or 6 centuries it is the new Bible? One Piece is just what they prey upon.
You never know, man.
For
Spread to the
weeks,
children.
probably.
Have you heard of your Lord and Savior Luffy, whatever the heck his name is?
Monkey D. Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy. There you go. But yeah, that's all I had.
What did you guys think about the Wonka trailer?
Very questionable. Very
Yeah.
questionable. I can't
Wouldn't
tell if it's the editing of the trailer that makes it seem not hit humorly wise, or if it's just that way. We'll see.
He's not whimsical at all. In my opinion.
I'm reserving judgment for the movie.
He's like,
I don't like that he has a sidekick.
Well,
Mm.
I don't like. He's like, no, strike that, reverse it. I'm like, we want to do another take, Timothy, like, and put
It
some
does look like
some
Paddington.
chutzpah in that. So
Looks like the Paddington style.
That's true. It is an
Um,
excellent director. That's why I'm saying that, because the Paddington trailers, I was like, that movie looks so bad. and everyone's like Paddington 2 and 1 are amazing. They're incredible. And I was like, the trailers were so bad. Every time I'd see it on Netflix, it pop up. Like, no. And finally I watched them and they're freaking amazing. So I'm like, maybe they just don't know how to do trailers.
Paddington 2 wouldn't made me want to be a better man.
I don't like that he has a kid sidekick because that kind of ruins the whole Charlie thing. It's
Maybe
like
she dies.
the whole thing was he didn't know how to interact with children.
Well,
and now
also-
he's interacting with children.
I always got the impression he didn't like kids.
Yeah.
Like just
Maybe she betrays him at the end, and that's why he has such a grudge.
Oh.
maybe he's
Maybe.
maybe she's the what's the rival company?
Oh,
Slugworth?
Yeah, what Slugsworth.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
she's Slugsworth.
She runs it. That would be a twist. I did like that Oompa Loompa thing at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's his name?
Hugh Grant.
What's his name's
Yeah,
in the-
that's so
Yeah,
weird.
Hugh Grant's in a bottle.
Why is Hugh Grant the Oompa Loompa? That'll be interesting.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for the bonus stuff this time. Check out our other video, which we just recorded. It was about video games, and we talked about Final Fantasy 16.
And inappropriate relations with
Yeah.
protocol droids.
True. Subscribe, like, and notify yourself for even more good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.